Sleepy Bucky. Tired? You guys ate this morning? You had a nice breakfast? Yep, you had a nice breakfast. Anyway, beautiful chilly day today. I am going to be grabbing the Xterra right over here and hooking up the trailer, grabbing the chainsaw, and going out back and getting some firewood. Won't be spending too much time back there, but I'll try and get a little bit of video of progress. Everybody has eaten, everybody's good. Fresh grain, fresh water, fresh hay. Everybody's well taken care of. Very nice and content. Anyway, all right, so let's go get some firewood. All right, trailer's all hooked up. So let's take a ride. A lot of mud got kicked up on the trailer. So yeah, here's that tree we're going to take down. This one right here. She's dead, so we're going to just drop it right there and then bucket and bring, I don't know, maybe 4-foot pieces out. Probably right through here. Maybe through here. Huh. The water's flowing. It stopped raining at some point yesterday, but the little drainage creek here is still flowing a bit. All right, well, let's get that tree down. All right, here I am back in the woods. Access to this tree was a little bit sketchy, but I got her down. I cut a couple logs already. When she fell, she hit that big tree and cracked into two pieces. One's laying here and the other one cracked and is laying over there. But it was all far away from me, so not a big deal. And I was cutting over here, and when it started to move, I moved quickly around behind these trees right here. You know, don't want to have any dangerous situations going on. Now look at my drainage creek is running so nice right now. And a minute ago I just saw I had a visitor. I have a visitor over by the car. Badger. Badger boy. There he is. I don't know what he's doing. But, okay. Let's get these logs cut. I was going to buck these into like 4-foot pieces, but it looks like this is going to be way too heavy as a 4-foot piece for me alone to be loading them to the trailer way over there. So I'm just going to cut individual logs and walk them over one by one. Get a few days worth of wood out of this. And call it quits for today because it is a little bit chilly. And I do have to be somewhere a little bit later on. So I'll have enough for the time being. And I'll be where I need to be when I need to be there. So I'll finish this up in a bit and be back shortly. So I've got that tree cut up into a bunch of pieces already. The chainsaw started a little overheating. This particular tree is apparently some kind of hardwood. Can't really tell because there's no bark on it anymore. As you can see, it's pretty much just core wood. All the bark is gone. I don't know if anyone can tell by whatever that is, but these logs, even though they're only about 14 or 15 inches, are extremely heavy. So it's actually a good sign that they'll be very good firewood. So let's see if I can pop in over on this side. I haven't been going through over here, but I've got, I don't know if you can see, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 pieces cut, plus the 2 on the trailer. And when those are split down into 5 or 6 pieces each, that'll be a pretty good amount of wood for today. I can always come back and get some more tomorrow, or we do still have some wood up there. So there's no critical emergency right now, but I do need to start focusing a little bit more on firewood, especially for future years. Taking down some really good shaped and formed hardwoods and letting them dry over a couple of years before burning them, because we all know it's about 1 year per inch of wood to dry in weather or season, they call it, before you should burn them. Anyway, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get those logs, bring them out here, lug those big old heavy things out here, load them on the trailer, and head up to the house. And then that'll be it for today, because I've got to head out of here and drive out to an appointment. Badger boy, come on Badger, where are you, boy? He's back here somewhere. He's doing his own thing. Let's see. Well, he obviously went back to that further back section. So I'm sure he's fine. He's a very capable dog. You can hear the creek from here. It's so relaxing. There's Kimber way out there waiting to chase a car. Watch what happens. Chases the car right off the property, and then she stops right there. She does the same thing the other way. Chases him down the road, stops right at the end of our property, and heads back. So beautiful. It's a beautiful hill right across on the other side of the creek, which is just on the other side of the road. So beautiful. Well, good morning, everybody. Another fantastic day here in Kentucky. Just Kimber heard me and came around the front of the house. We're going to try and sneak up on the animals. We're going to go around the back from the side door. We'll go through the inside dog section here. Look at this. They pull little things out of the garbage and just leave them here on the ground. Oh, this infuriates me. Okay. See, they're calling for food. Hello, everybody. Hello, babies. You ready to eat? Not yous. Pamela, how did you get in the garden? Pamela, you don't belong in here. Set it down. Relatch this the right way so it doesn't open. Look, the ducks are freaking jumping into the dog food. Pick it up and then get in here. Okay. Inside the trailer. Bird seed, goat feed. This is normally dog food, but I just bring it out in buckets. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, here's how this goes. I've got 3 sections here. The back behind the coop, the front of the coop, and then the shed. Each and every section has multiple types of animals. The back here has the female La Manchas and 1 dog, Bailey, who's right there. Middle section has 4 Boer goats and Belle and the 3 puppies. The coop section has the 3 little La Manchas and various birds, ducks, chickens, and Pamela's usually over there. So with feeding, I've got to feed 1 type of animal first, lock them up, feed the other animal, so that nobody wants to eat anyone else's food and everybody gets their own. Hey, Bucky. Coming to try and get some food, huh? Alright, so, and Badger usually eats on the front porch, but I have this bowl here for if he is over here, I'll usually feed him over here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and do my regular feeding. It's going to be a little bit difficult holding the phone. You see him roll over there? It's going to be a little bit difficult to hold the phone and do the actual feeding, so this is what I do. I feed the front coop section first. The goats get fed in their room. I lock them in. Then the dogs get fed in the other room. I lock them in. Back here, I will feed the La Mancha goats first out in the bowls here, because Bailey has little interest in eating their food. While they're eating, I'll feed Bailey in her bowl over here by the water. She will keep them away from her food, and they'll be busy with their own food anyway. So she will finish her food, not let them eat it, not be interested in eating their food. So they get theirs, she gets hers. Over there, it's a little bit different story. I will have to throw some bird feed down on the floor, on the ground first, because if I put goat feed in the bowls for the goats first, the chickens and the ducks will rush it and try to eat it all. So I need to distract them with little feed on the ground first in front of this shed. Then throw some goat feed in their bowls and finish up throwing the rest of the bird feed on the ground so that they'll stay busy while the goats eat their food. So it's 1, 2 in here, 1, 2 in here, and then 1, 2 in there. And then I will usually throw some bird seed out here for whoever is over here, some ducks and whatnot. But I've noticed that they will go over to the barn when I go over to the barn, so I'm not going to do that because the horses will chase them away and try to eat all the bird seed. And I'd rather the birds got the bird seed and the horses got grain rather than bird seed. So I'm going to go ahead and feed the 3 sections here, and then I will be right back. Okay, I've got everyone on this side of the property fed. I'm in the front section with the La Mancha girl babies, or young'uns, and all the birds eating their feed here. And this little pond here, I actually made this myself. I dug it out by hand, made a rim around here because this is kind of sloped that way, and I dammed it on this side and around all by hand. And then I had ducks in here for a while, and they tend to seal it by pooping in the water. I know that's kind of disgusting, but it breaks down when it hits the ground under the water, and it actually seals the pond. This has been holding water now over a year, probably 2 years, and the birds love it. I think I'm going to expand it a little bit, bring it out this way, and maybe make it a little deeper. Goose loves it. And Pamela's still on the other side of the fence there. I tell you, that goose is so loud. It's so annoying sometimes. This tree here, very interesting looking tree, but there's a lot of dead branches on it, and I'm thinking it's probably going to fall on its own soon. I would like to take this down and put up a nicer, more ornate type shade tree, something more beautiful. That's going to be hard to get that trunk out of the ground though. So everyone over here is eating. You can see the coop doors are closed. Nobody can eat anyone else's food, especially different species where the food is actually slightly toxic. Such a beautiful day. Well, let me grab my bucket and head on over to the barn right after I make sure Pamela gets a little bit of food. Alright, so over here by the barn, it's a bit more difficult, so I went ahead and did what I needed to do first, and now I'll describe it. So what I've got over here is the two big adult goats and the 3 younger goats. And what I need to do is I need to get them in here separate from the little guys, so I kind of fake them with food and get it just right, so I get these 2 in the room and then I close them in. And then I'll take and I'll just put their feed in their bowl in here. So the bigger ones, they're already locked up. They can't get in here to bother them. So these 3 get fed in here and then locked in. And then I'll come back over here and give them their feed, lock them in. And then across the way, in the run-in stall, we've got one bowl here, one bowl there, I put one bowl here for Andre, who is actually at Maverick's bowl, which I'm gonna fix that. It looks like Andre is a bully. So I'm gonna take his bowl and I'm gonna take it outside for Maverick. Here you go, Mav. And you see here's that water spot that I need to fill. Alright, so Maverick went back inside. He's gonna get chased out. Maverick! I don't know what to do. Because I'm going to put it back over there by him, and then Andre will chase him away from it again. There, go. Come on, Maverick, out. Go on, Mav. Here. Now you leave him alone. Here. Okay. Nope. See, keeping them from stopping another animal from eating, it's a difficult job. Over here, Andre. Now he's going to chase Maverick away from that bowl, and Maverick won't get to eat. So, oh, here he comes. Okay, that's good. All right. So, I feed those two individually, separate from each other. And then I'll get some grain for Bo. And I'll give it to him in his bucket over here. And he knickers and thanks on the way. And then the birds. I'll throw bird seed out on the ground for them in here. And then all that's left is the animals out in the field, which I'll just bring a bucket of grain. The hay feeders are actually working really good. Pretty much no waste whatsoever. It's great. Anyway, let me finish up with the animals out in the field, which is a chore because they really you know, get up on you and they want to get into the bucket you're carrying, and it's a real hassle, but they do like their morning breakfast. So I just rode out here with a load of hay for these guys. There's a little filly girl. They're about, I don't know, a little more than 3/4 of the way back in the main grazing field. And just with a load of hay for them. And look at them. They're going at it. I gotta grab the hay fork and make some piles for them. Harley. Come on, Harley. And Rebel. What are you, sleepy? Mama loves it. The little filly loves it. Anyway, let me make a couple piles for them. We'll be right back. Alright, so here they go. They got 3 piles just to make it a little easier for them to all eat. She usually likes to eat alone, so she will chase anybody away from her pile. Come on, Harley, go around with your brother. And the sheep, they just graze. They'll graze on the dying off grass. It's all good. I want to get up that hill, and I want to show you a view from the top of the hill at some point soon. Anyway, I'm going to head back toward the tobacco barn. I'll be right back. Alright, so up by the tobacco barn, this is where the food forest belt is going. Right in this lane right here. I don't know if you can see the little dip right there. So what we're planning on doing, like I believe I described in one of the first 3 parts of the first post that we made on YouTube, is we're going to put a food forest in here with swales. Probably 2 swales, maybe 3 swales, with food trees and bushes planted along the whole thing. On this end there's going to be a pond. On the other end is going to be a pond. Now what we're thinking is one of these low points might be an old ditch that was dug to run the water lines. Now our water meter is over between the coop and the house, a little bit closer to the coop, and the line runs like from the coop to the house, which means it's coming off a water line behind it somewhere. It could be in front of the coop, it could be behind the coop, but one of these ditches that could actually be the remnants of when they put the main water lines in. So they're coming tomorrow and they're going to mark where their main water line is across the property so that we know exactly where it is. Which will also be good. We'll document it and record it, because after the food forest is done, the section behind it, being the residential section, we'll know exactly where the main water line is, to feed lines from the main water line to any of the houses or manufactured mobile homes that end up here on the property. And you know, the power runs right to the power pole. There's a power pole there for that end, and then if we swing around, there's a power pole right here for this end. Every house will have its own power pole, its own water, and a septic field behind. So I think it's a pretty good plan. The food forest is going to be amazing. We'll be able to have such a great variety, a huge variety, a selection of things that will span a longer period of time for you know, when things come into ripeness across the calendar, so that there'll be something to eat a lot of the time just right here on the food forest. In addition to that, we've got the garden where we're going to be trying to perfect getting really nice harvests of, you know, your staples, plus this and that of various new and interesting things. We do like, actually the missus loves to try new and very unusual things, which is a plus, especially when, you know, you're successful with something and it's fantastic. You know, that's really a win. But anyway, we are going to be heading out to Rural King out in Glasgow, which is it's not a main city, but it's a larger city than our local city here, or town here. So we're going to Rural King and we're going to pick up some supplies, and we'll be back later. Well, it's the next day. I'm standing over here by the back end of the tobacco barn right about where the pond is going to end up, because we've established already, and I've told you all, this point right here, right by the back of the tobacco barn, what is about 35 feet away from the wall of the tobacco barn, is like the low point for this little divot. So this is going to be incorporating the pond, and it'll probably come this way further. But the surveyors came today and marked out where the water lines are, and as it turns out, they're much further toward the front of the property than we expected, which is great. Here's the blue line here, which actually just kind of wraps around the tobacco barn. Here's another one right here. Right here. And it's probably about 8 feet into the field of this wall at this point, but it angles just a little bit into the field here, and then you can probably see the flags on the other side. All right, this mark here is a little bit further from the tobacco barn wall. This is about 12 feet. And then this one here, this is about the same, probably about 11 feet from the wall. And then there's this one over here, which is about the same, about 10 to 11 feet away from the wall of the tobacco barn here, right here. So with those three, the line is within 15 feet of the tobacco barn, which is well within what we were expecting. We were expecting the lines to be out here where the mower is, probably inside that ditch. We thought that was the ditch that they dug for the water lines, but as it turns out, the water lines are actually up on top of the hill, and the very first one. So it won't at all interfere with the food forest portion, because the food forest is going to be like this one and that one, maybe a little bit over here on this wall, but this water main is about 24 inches deep, so that shouldn't be an issue with anything really we want to grow here. Maybe trees, but I don't think we're going to put trees this far forward. And you can see how close the line is down there to the telephone pole. I would say it's probably about 22 feet into the field from that power pole, and then it just kind of arches a little bit to the left and goes down into the neighbor's property. So we'll be sitting good with our plans for both ponds. The pond over there is going to be nowhere near the water line. There's nothing else in here. They dug a trench over there pretty deep and didn't find anything from past the first little swale thing or indentation in the ground. The second, or this one, they found nothing, and they didn't find anything until the mound of the very front. So we've got nothing in this section. We can dig anywhere we want back here. It'll be pretty good. And like you can see right there is where the peak is, and just behind it, it goes down into like a pretty deep crevice there. And I don't know if I could even show you. Maybe if I get it all the way. Nah, that doesn't even show. But right here where we're walking, this section right here is pretty deep. It should hold a pretty fair amount of water dammed on both sides, which is what a pond is. They call it a dam. Most other countries do, at least. But anyway, things are coming together. I still have minor little fixing projects to do, but things are coming along day by day. So that'll be the video for this week. There is going to be more to come. We are working on a custom feed blend mix for our animals to give them advantage, make them healthier than people who give them just basic store-bought food. And we are currently working on hay. We did find a guy pretty local. We're gonna try and get a whole crud load to get in the hay stall over on the other side, and then probably next week we'll clean up a little more over here and go with it from there. But anyway, it is getting chillier and chillier day by day. We are expecting a little rain tomorrow, and then it should get nicer again. But it's going to get chillier and chillier. So we will see you on the next video, and we look forward to sharing what we've got. See you next time.